Hey friend, are you struggling with writer's block and wondering how you're ever going to finish your book? If so, this video is for you. I'm an editor and I'm going to tell you my 3 top tips for how you can overcome that terrible case of writer's block and get back into your writing flow. My name's Kelly Notaras. I'm the founder of KN Literary Arts. We are a full-service book studio getting you from wherever you are now to having that book in your hand. So please visit us at knliterary.com. I've also been a book editor here in the U.S. publishing business for over 25 years, and I bring all the wisdom I've gathered in that time right here to this YouTube channel. So please hit subscribe and click the little bell icon so you never miss a video. So obviously, one of the things that everyone knows about writing is that from time to time, we end up with something called the dreaded writer's block. What is writer's block? I mean, truly it can be defined in any way, but essentially it's that you want to be working on your book, but somehow you just can't. Something is standing in the way. So how do you let those obstacles go and get back into the flow? Well, I do want to say, first of all, it's helpful to know what kind of writer's block you're struggling with. So there is a writer's block that I understand comes to artistes, people who've been writing novels or whatever it might be for years and years, and then suddenly they just hit a roadblock and they have nothing more to say. For most of the clients I work with and most of the people who are watching this YouTube channel, that is not your current reality. Most likely you are trying to write your first book, maybe your second book. And it might be something a little bit more simple that's come up. So the first thing I see over and over again is a sense of overwhelm. And that's like, I don't know where to start. I don't even know what my book is about. I could write 5 books, but I can't tell which one it is. And there's a sense like I can't get started. Okay. And that is an overwhelm writer's block that can be really helped by the tips that I'm going to give you. The second one is something that I just call garden variety fear. And I say that because there's so many different types of fear that can get in the way of getting your book out there. Usually this is where we are future tripping about what it's going to be like once the book is actually published, and we are worried about how it's going to be received or whether we're actually good enough to be writing it, or, is it going to be safe to suddenly be in the public eye? And the truth is that that is a fear that probably needs to be dealt with, and you need to actually look into that, but not right now. Right now, it's just standing in the way, probably for a really good reason, out of protection of you actually getting your work done. So if those are the kinds of writer's block that you're struggling with, the tips I'm about to give you are really going to help. So the very first tip I want you to remember is, what is your why? Why is it that you are writing this book? If you can center that really burning desire to have this book in the world and remember in a visceral, physical way what you're looking for in writing this book, it's very easy to get back into the writing flow. So sometimes we end up outside of that flow because of the fear I was talking about, the overwhelm, etc. But those are not insurmountable obstacles. They only look insurmountable when we don't have a motivation that can overcome them. Right? So if you have a couple large rocks in the middle of the way, you're not going to be able to get over them if you don't really feel an urge to get to the other side, because you're going to have to exert some effort, maybe a little bit dangerous to climb those rocks and get over to the other side. But if you know why you're going there, if your child is on the other side and is in danger, or if you know that there's a treasure trove of something you've really been wanting on the other side, you'll have the motivation to scramble up those rocks and over to the other side. Okay, so I want you to really center your why. I talk a lot about this in I believe it is chapter 2 of my book, The Book You Were Born to Write, which is sitting right back there. So if you want some more detailed processes for how I get people to their why, you can totally go there. But I'll say, if you can imagine and envision some sort of a symbol for your why, maybe it's one of your children who you're leaving this legacy for. Maybe it's a client who you know would be so helped by having the information in this book. Maybe it is a picture of yourself standing in front of a microphone talking to a crowd, whatever it might be. If you can come up with a visual for that, print it out and put it next to your writing space. Go ahead and put it in a frame. So next time you sit down, if you're stuck or thinking, I don't know if I should really be doing this, or whatever the story might be that's going in your mind that's keeping you stuck, you look at that picture in the frame and you remember why it is that you're doing it. My second tip for overcoming writer's block and getting back into your writing flow, getting that book out in the world, is to write something easy. So too often I find that my clients are sitting in front of the computer watching this blank page with the little cursor blinking in their face, and they're thinking, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to be writing? I need to write my whole book right now. I need to make sure that this sentence I write is going to be the perfect opening sentence to the opening chapter in my book. And that is a lot of pressure. Pressure does nothing for the writing process. Now, I will say the pressure of a deadline can actually get you to sit down and get stuff done. But in terms of actually getting the words onto the page, putting the pressure on yourself of this has to be perfect, or this is something that someone has to read and really think is special, or this is something that has to impress this particular person who you would love to be impressed by your book, it's going to be very hard for you to get it out there, because perfection is so much the enemy of getting things done, okay? So you have to let go of that perfection. And one good way to do it is to choose something really easy to write as you're getting started with your writing day. So I'm offering you my set of some of my favorite writing prompts and the exercise how to do writing prompts below. So please be sure to click down and get that freebie, because it really is something that I've seen over and over, helps people so much. And P.S., if you use a writing prompt every day or as many days a week as you can, you will also get the added benefit of knowing deeply that you are a writer. Because when you are writing, you feel like a writer. You don't need anybody to tell you that you're a writer. You know it in your bones. So please use those writing prompts. My third tip for getting back in the writing flow is to get into a relationship with someone who understands. Now, why do I say this? Isn't writing a solitary endeavor? Well, yes, it is. The actual putting of words on the page can be a solitary endeavor, but all of us are wired to do best when we are in relationship, when we are understood and seen by someone else. So my first suggestion is to go find writers you can connect with, okay? I have a couple writing memberships that I co-produce with Hay House. We'll put a link below to the waiting list if they're not open right now, but that's a great place to meet other writers. But you can also look in your area. Go to meetup.com and see what writing groups are being offered. Look for a writing school. There are a lot of little institutes that are in many of the major cities that have writing classes you could go to. And if you're not in a major city, there's so much writing happening on Zoom, on online courses, etc. There are places where you can connect with other writers. And there's nothing that will make you feel more seen and understood than having a writer say, oh my gosh, I have so been there. And everybody has great ideas for how to make it through. They've got their own experience of how to overcome writer's block. So I'm giving you my best suggestions here, but there are other people that might have suggestions that are even better for you. So please do get out there and connect with other writers. And if you don't know enough other writers, you feel a little bit nervous to even call yourself a writer yet and put yourself into a group like that, I will say working with a book coach can be an absolutely wonderful way to get started and to be encouraged to keep going by someone who truly understands how to get from here to there. So book coaches, generally speaking, are editors, oftentimes by trade. Certainly those at KN Literary are all editors as well. We know the art of putting books together, and we so understand that it is not just an art, but it's also a psychological event. To get to the place where you're ready to put your inner world out there, we know how hard that can be. And the book coaching process can help you to feel more ease in making that transition from having all of that wisdom and story inside of you to getting it onto the page. So perhaps a book coach is right for you. So just to recap, my 3 tips for you are: number 1, know and remember your why. Why are you writing this book? What is the motivation that is carrying you all the way to the end of this marathon journey that is writing a book? Remember it, frame it, put it next to your computer, put it next to your notebook so that you never forget why it is that you're doing this. Number 2 is to start with something easy. Give yourself an easy place to start, and you'll be surprised how much the writing can just start to flow, and then it can overflow into working on some part of your book. So again, grab those writing prompts that we have in the description below, start using them today. And number 3, my third and I think potentially most important recommendation is to be in connection with other people who are writing or who understand writing. Whether that's joining a writing workshop, joining a membership of writers, meeting up with other writers in your hometown, or even working with a book coach. Having that person there who's like, boy, I understand, I'm doing it too, or I work with people like you every day and I know deep inside what is the right next step for you. It can be so helpful. Finding help and support is not a failure. It's not a weakness. It's actually a sign of strength. And also it's a sign of your commitment to getting this book in the world, which of course I want more than anything for you. All right. I hope this has been helpful. I hope you're not running into writer's block, but if you are, I hope that this has helped to loosen some things up and get you back in the flow. And of course, we would love to talk to you. If you have any questions about the services that we offer at KN Literary, you can just go to knliterary.com and schedule a very free, very no obligation call. We'd love to talk to you. All right. I hope the writer's block falls away and you can continue on your journey of writing.